For 50 years, Crenshaw Christian Center has served the community locally, nationally, and internationally by emphasizing and teaching the power of faith. Along the way, CCC has shared not only individual milestones, but also those that made an everlasting impact on our membership as a whole and are considered historical moments. This is our year-long celebration, so each month from now until November 27th, 2023, our actual golden anniversary date, we are sharing some of these historical moments. Some of you will remember these, and some of you may not. But like me, all of you will appreciate these amazing memories that commemorate the importance that Crenshaw Christian Center has made in our communities, families, including ours, and so many people's lives in and around the world. This is a special historical moment, and I am inspired to share personal thoughts. Our church, Crenshaw Christian Center, was established on November 26, 1973.
My husband was pastoring this little small church, started out with 9 members. After 4 years, we had gone up to about 100 and something. And then all of a sudden, because of God moving in his life in a new way, we had gotten filled with the Holy Spirit, and we had learned these principles of faith, and then our church just started growing just very, very quickly. We went like from that 100 members to 300 members in probably less than a year. And but there was no room in the little church anywhere. West Washington was the name of the church. And we had filled up every space in that church. I mean, in the kitchen, every room. It seated 158 people. And we were just totally out of room. We were cramping 300 people in there every Sunday. And we just needed a new church. And yet, at the time when we needed it, we didn't know where the money was coming from. We didn't know anything. But anyway, someone told us about church on Crenshaw being up for sale. And so my husband went to see if possibly we could buy that church. But when we got there, they said they had a list about this tall. I mean, tons of pastors and churches had already decided they wanted to buy the church. So anyway, they took his application, but out of all those pastors, it might have been way over 50 pastors, they ended up choosing our church. And that was just like a special miracle of God, because nobody knew my husband. He didn't grow up in a typical church like most people, Baptist, Methodist, Presbyterian. God was the one that had raised him up. And so pastor, the church that we had belonged to already, the pastor said that, you know, he knew this little pastor. We was talking about my husband. He says, I know this little pastor. There's no way he's going to get that church. But look at God. He ended up providing a miracle for us, and we ended up getting that church. And that's how Crenshaw Christian Center started.
The new church seated 1,400 people, and the first Sunday service was held on November 26, 1973, at 11 a.m. at Crenshaw Christian Center, located at 9550 Crenshaw Boulevard in Inglewood, California. Here is November's historical moment.
So I took over this little church. We started out with 9 people in the congregation on Sunday morning. With my wife and 2 kids, I think at that time we had 12 people. I preached to 12 people. And that's how it started.
A young pastor and his wife, with 300 people from their small Inglewood, California church, took a leap of faith and signed a contract for a building much larger than their congregation could fill, with a price tag far more expensive than they could afford. That leap of faith launched a ministry movement that has grown way beyond what the couple and their followers could have imagined at that time.
Dr. Betty and Apostle came every single week from California to New York for the Thursday night Bible study.
Within just 4 years, the church that was too big to fill became too small to hold the crowds that came, with lines forming around the building and people waiting to get inside. Pastor Frederick K.C. Price had a vision to minister to the inner city communities in Los Angeles, sharing a message of hope and faith that almost immediately began to spread beyond the community where the Crenshaw Christian Center was located. This message was well received by people of all backgrounds and stations in life.
As pastor of Crenshaw Christian Center, it has been my pleasure and honor to share new historical moments every month as we celebrate the year of our 50th golden anniversary.